did you miss us? We're back. A brand new episode of the Gimme the Hot Sauce podcast. Tim's son got married in Mexico, and then Stacey was there to enjoy the festivities.
His black uncle. His black uncle. The one the family never talks about. I was there.
They couldn't avoid you this time.
No, they couldn't. There was no hors d'oeuvres. I didn't have to serve anything. It was all inclusive. I didn't have to serve drinks or bring hors d'oeuvres down, Mark. I felt like I was part of the family for the first time.
Heard they tried to sabotage you with the beach chairs.
Oh, they tried to get me America. They was trying to make it funniest videos. So it was a lovely wedding. Everything was just perfect. So they set out these chairs on the beach, right? And I'd questioned it from day one. Like, okay, you guys gonna put chairs on the beach? And so they're little bitty chairs. They look like little kids' party chairs. Like if you had a little daughter and she said, hey, let's have a tea party. That's the kind of size the chair was. Now you see, I'm 6'11". My big ass ain't gonna be able to sit in a little chair. So I go out there and test it. I go out there and touch it, and it's shaky. That's all hail to the no. Y'all ain't getting me on no American Most videos. Because you know what happened, Mark? If I'd have went down, I'd have grabbed everybody in the row. We all went down together. It'd have been like bowling pins. I didn't care. So I decided I'm gonna walk up on the yard where we're gonna have the reception and snatch open one of those nice big recliners. And I sat in the back and I filmed the wedding.
There you go. Yeah.
For free. I didn't charge them. I freely taped it, everything. So if they want my version, I have to pay for it.
So, Tim, this was your classic destination wedding. A lot of planning went into that, I assume.
I had nothing to do with any of it except for
the checkbook.
Checkbook, and then I got the fireworks going, and that was great till it all started falling on her head.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Okay, he was all excited about this, right? So he had watched a wedding somewhere else, and they had fireworks, right? And it was in Mexico.
Yeah, just the week before.
The week before, he was at a previous wedding.
Okay.
So he had these fireworks, and he's like, oh, this was really awesome. So he went and bought fireworks. So I already knew about it. No one else knew about it. So the fireworks get ready to pop. They start popping. Pow, pow, it was beautiful. Boom, boom, boom. But everybody damn near caught on fire. Everything, the wind was blowing in, and all the little ashes and stuff was coming to hit. Something hit me. I'm like, what this is? My leg was burning. Mark, what the hell was that?
Like sand was coming down.
Sand was coming down. It was like an explosion. Like somebody dropped a bomb on the beach.
They dug the mortars right in the sand, and it was blowing sand up too. It was
like
falling down.
Somebody heard somebody say, "Whose bright idea was that?" I didn't rat him out. America. I didn't say it was Whisper's idea. Yeah. I think it was the hotel. They did this. We should sue them.
Well, Austin just looked at me and said, thanks.
Well, I mean, Mark, when I tell you, it felt like somebody was just dropped some shit.
People started running inside.
Yeah, people were diving out of the way. Like, oh my God. And then your sister got hit with something. She said, what the hell is that? I didn't even think she noticed it because she is drinking. Let me tell you something, America. This Irish boy right here in this family, boy, I tell you, I've known him for years.
The Kelleys did not let anyone down.
The Kelleys do not disappoint when it comes to a party. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it was awesome. It was good shindig. Good shindig.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the happy couple. Where are they honeymooning?
They moved a little bit further down the coast to another resort, and because they were going to stay at the resort we were at.
We're not staying at that damn resort we were at. America. I'm gonna tell you, what's the name of it?
I was at a 5-star resort, Fiesta Americana.
Fiesta Americana. It was not a fiesta for us. We had to create our own siesta. Okay, the hotel from the outside when you go in, it's nice, beautiful place. The service with the restaurants and all
people
the pool
were really great.
Were awesome. Where we had a problem was the front desk. Front desk
and the elevators.
And the elevator. We got stuck on the elevator like twice in a hot ass elevator. I said, Mark, I thought it was over, Mark. I thought it was over because they ain't gonna answer the phone downstairs. We're there 911. We're calling people. Hey, we're stuck in the elevator. They got no English. Oh no, we're gonna die in the elevator in Mexico. Oh my God. So finally we got out, and then I got stuck twice. And I refused to ride in the other one, so I got in another one and I got stuck again. So I said, okay, this is not gonna end well. Somebody's gonna really get stuck in there for a long time because it's hot as hell there. It was like, the weather was nice, like 80-something degrees, but it was really humid in the hotel, like where your rooms were.
I started taking the service elevator.
Yeah.
Found out where that was at and just riding with the people up and down with food and cleaning supplies. But it worked every time.
And he was the only one who knew about that. The rest of us kept getting stuck in elevators. So
that's what I do.
So the service, Mark, if you listen to America, if you ever want to do a destination wedding, don't go to the Fiesta Americana, right? That's the name of it?
Or negotiate a better deal.
Or negotiate a better deal, because we had a party of like 90 people there, and they were rude. They had promised a lot of things to Austin in the wedding party. They didn't deliver. We went down there. Everybody who checked in literally had to wait 4 hours before we got into our room. It was just a terrible experience. But after you got past that part, everything else was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But don't do a destination wedding, baby. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. This is Stacey King's review. Somebody gave it a 5 stars. I'm giving it 2.
Yeah.
Well, before the wedding, Tim, you were over in Europe for a while. You know, we were the #1 basketball podcast in Finland for a while. What countries were you visiting?
I was in Denmark and Sweden.
Okay. How'd that go?
It was
doing
great.
Promotional work for the podcast while you were there?
Of course.
Always, right? You're always working.
Just wear my shirts and the hats and, talk about it. And they're like, wait, I thought you worked for Teleray. But no, it worked out great meetings and a lot of great sites. Went to an old church with a Viking king in the tomb and the catacombs and stuff like that. So that's the other part of my heritage, the Irish side and the Norwegian side.
And now you're back.
I'm
the
back.
office is taking over. Did Pavel take over while you were gone?
I think they had a kind of their own little mutiny kind of episode going on here. Like who's going to take charge?
Oh, wow.
And I don't think anyone got a hold of being in charge. And that's why so much didn't get done.
The funny thing was that the case of Modelo you bought a few weeks ago, it's still in the refrigerator.
Well, that's because Rich and I weren't here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I tell you what, though, it was this whole experience. I needed that vacation. I was sitting back, man. It was coming down to the final wire, the play-in game, and it looked like the Bulls were going to win.
Yeah, because Butler was out. You're thinking they might beat
Butler
the
and
Heat.
Rozier was out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is easy win for the Bulls. They're going to get in. Mark, 1, 2, 3, Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta, yeah.
And I was so bummed out.
I was hurt. I wanted to make the playoffs.
Well, you were watching it with the crew,
right?
right?
I was at the watch party at recess.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. The Bulls put on a great watch party. A lot of fans were there. I really felt disappointed for the fans because, they get into that stuff. The Bulls did a good job. Benny the Bull was there. They do a good job of giving out prizes and stuff for the fans and stuff. The food was awesome. Recess was awesome. And just for the Bulls to kind of lay an egg, it was sad because when I got in there, I thought the game started 7 Chicago time. I didn't know it started it was 6. It was 6 in Miami, and then they started, I think, 5 or so, or whatever. What was the time difference?
A long time ago. I forget what time it was.
Yeah. But I got there, it was 5, right? So it was 5 o'clock. I got there at 6. Yeah. And then the Bulls were down 17.
I know. It was over in a hurry.
And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like,
they couldn't make a shot. It was.
How do you get down 17 in a pivotal game? Like, what? Oh, I was just disappointed. And then, at the end of the game, you knew it wasn't gonna go the Bulls' way. Miami just played better. And I knew this was gonna happen because I seen it all year with this team. Whenever the star player for the other team doesn't show up, it looks like their mental focus drops a little bit. Like they're more focused on going against Jimmy Butler. And they're locked in to play those kind of guys. When those guys don't show up, that's when they take their foot off the mental accelerator. They're like, oh, we're going to beat these. Oh, they don't have Rozier either? Oh, this is easy. And then they go out and get the land based. How do you come back from a 34-17 game? I know it's the NBA, people come back. But you look at that first and third quarter, that's the start of the game and the start of the second half where they just imploded. And you can't win games like that.
Yeah, Kevin Love's like 100 years old, but he's making shots.
Oh, they got him off ice. He was on ice. They unthawed him and said, hey, we need you. You're a little short tonight, Kev. Just give us something. Can you just stay on one end? You ain't got to run the court. Stay on one end. Then Tyler Hero missed a triple-double. And then, leaving him open, leaving shooters open, knowing that they're one of the best three-point shooters in the game. It's just focus. It's focus, man. And then, you had the press conference after the season was over. You heard AK talk about changes.
He was very firm about that. I was really happy to hear that. It wasn't like, well, we had injuries and, we played well after that bad 5-14 start. He said, there's a time for change and that time is now. And he said that 3 or 4 times during the news conference. He wasn't running from it. So I would anticipate we're going to see a lot of change. We've already seen it with the coaching staff.
Yes.
Chris Fleming, the top assistant, is no longer with the staff. Maurice Cheeks is moving off the bench. He'll be in a part-time role, and our good buddy Chip Schaefer was let go yesterday.
Yeah. I talked to Chip about that. I was really disappointed. Chip has been around for a long, long time. He's done so much for the organization. Tough decision, but he's going to land on his feet. He'll get a job somewhere else very easily. Just a great guy. Anytime you see a guy like that, because he's family. To me, he's family. We came in basically together. I was a year earlier than him. He came in after my rookie year and, from Loyola Marymount. So we go back a long way, me, him, and BJ. And we were one of the two guys and Will that helped get Chip hired onto the Bulls because Jerry put us in charge in Summer League as he was our trainer in Summer League to see if we really liked him or not. And if we liked him, he was going to hire him. So we loved him. And he ended up being a trainer for, 20 plus years, winning all these rings and went with Phil to LA. And, he's just a great guy. So you hate to see it. But back to AK, I think that's the first time that I've seen AK be definitive about something
absolutely.
that has to be done. Before you'd be like, well, we're injured. Lonzo went out. We're gonna get these guys back. Let's run it back. Continuity. You heard him talk about continuity all before, but it seemed like he just said, "Damn continuity."
He
Like,
did.
this is
So this
this
isn't
is
working.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable. And he's a prideful guy. Like I talk to AK all the time, and he's a prideful guy. Like he wants to win. He wants to win just as bad as I do or anybody else in the city wants to win. And he's put a team, and he understands that I put this team out here. It falls back on me. He took pressure off Billy Donovan. He basically said, it's my fault that we haven't given Billy the pieces to work with. I think he fell on the sword a little bit on that. I don't think it's all his fault. I think Billy has hamstringed himself a little bit because this team, and I tell people this all the time, and this is where I side with AK. This team is better than what it played. It's better than what it played. This is not a play-in team. This is a legit playoff team. Now, wherever you want to put them, 7, 6, on down, they're not a top 5 team. They're a top 5 team when healthy. They're top 5. You got Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, you got Patrick Williams. They're a top 5 team in the conference. But without all those guys, they're still a playoff caliber team. You still have 2, big name players in DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic there. You got the emergence of Kobe White. This team was much better in the second half than they were in the first half. Maybe had they not been so, deep in the hole in the first half, maybe you see a different outcome.
Before the season came to an end, our good buddy Casey Johnson reported that through sources that the Bulls reportedly had offered DeMar DeRozan a short-term extension, 2 years. He said at big money, close to $40 million. And DeMar's looking for more security, more years, which was kind of a surprise to me. I mean, he's going to be entering year 16 next year. He's about 35 years old. What do you think it's going to take? Do you think DeMar will be back?
Man, it's tough. I would love to see DeMar back because of what he's still playing at a high level. He's played in, I think his career, he's played in 90% of the games that he's played. So he's very durable. It's not like a guy is missing games or taking load management. That's the positive side. He's still doing it at a high level. He's still capable of taking over fourth quarter, taking over games. And I think that has to mean something to the organization when you're looking at that and saying, okay, how much decline is he? Let's look at his numbers. Where is the decline? You don't see a lot of decline. I think, he's much better when you have Lonzo Ball because his scoring is much more efficient when he doesn't have to bring the ball up every single time. He doesn't have to, walk the ball up and go ISO every single time. That takes a lot out of you. By the time you get to game 50, your legs are like gone, and I think, and I've talked to DeMar about this, is, his summer should be relaxation. He shouldn't be playing the Drew League. I know it's a Compton and California thing, and he's trying to help the organization out down there, and that's great. But he can do another role. He could be more of an ambassador, be a guy that comes down there and maybe pays for a team to play or whatever. He needs to rest during the summertime, because that puts a lot of wear and tear. And he works out like a demon. He works out like a demon. Mark, you've seen some of his workout videos. He's got Kobe doing it. He got Patrick White doing it. I mean, you got Patrick Williams doing it. So when you're doing all that, and then you're also playing in the Drew League, playing almost a whole summer worth of summer league basketball, and then turn around and only have like a couple of months before the season starts, and you're going to be required to play 85% of the games, which he does. It wears on you after a while. So I think if you can cut back on some of his activities in the summertime and just relax a little bit more, go on vacation, enjoy the family a little bit more, I think you can squeeze 3-4 years out of him.
It's nice to hear AK say that this time for change is now and they're not going to run back the same roster, but yet the realities of it are if you re-sign DeMar, if you re-sign Patrick Williams, you're already into the luxury tax, unless you can find some team that can absorb Zach LaVine's salary. I mean, they're in a bad situation in terms of the salary cap and the luxury tax to try to make these major changes that AK is talking about?
Well, I mean, again, the league's getting younger.
We've seen that, yeah.
You're looking at the playoffs right now.
Minnesota,
You're
man.
seeing Minnesota went from a playing team to now possibly can have a good chance of upsetting Denver.
Yeah.
So they're a legit title team. Oklahoma City's a legit title team. Indiana went out and got pieces. They're young and they're playing well. Orlando is battling Cleveland right now. Both those two teams are young. So, if you're AK, like I said, I'm not a GM. I don't make those decisions, and I don't want to make those decisions. But at some point, I think a lot of it they're thinking is what Lonzo's going to do. If Lonzo comes back healthy, and we don't know that yet, but the news so far has been really good on Zoe. They're banking Zoe comes back, and he'll be on restrictions per game minutes, as the season goes along. I think he'll get better as the season goes along, depending on how his knee holds up. The development of Kobe's been important. I think Kobe now, when you have Zoe back, because everybody said, well, if Zoe back, Kobe won't play point. Kobe's a two guard. Okay, he's got size. He can play defense. He can be a two-way player. He can shoot the three. He can handle the ball. He can attack from any angle on the floor. Kobe is a legit two. And I think having him be able to move without the basketball and be more free to get his shots, because he's kind of, when he's the point guard, he's got to try to facilitate everybody, get everybody in the position. And he's just learning that position. You already got a guy that already knows that position coming in that's going to facilitate it. And then now you move him to his natural position, two guard. I'm a big Zach fan, but I don't think you can pay DeMar and then have Zach with his money.
If Zoe comes back, you absolutely have to trade somebody.
And then you got Patrick Williams. If I'm the Bulls with Patrick Williams, he's restricted free agent. As much as I like Patrick Williams, I'm like, hey, you got to go out there and see what kind of deal you can get. I can't pay you on potential when you haven't played a full season since you've been here. You've been injured, so that looks like you're injury prone. And the motor that we need to see, we need to see. If you think you're $100 and something $1 million player, you haven't shown that. You've shown it in spurts, but you haven't shown it. And the way these teams are doing now, they're paying guys on potential, and then they get locked into these big deals and they can't get rid of these guys. I would let him go out there and see what he can get. And if it's affordable, that we can match it. Because I don't think he's going to get a big deal out there, because I don't think teams have a lot of money, except younger teams maybe. I don't think a lot of teams have that kind of money to pay him, especially with his history of being injured and not playing full season. So I think the Bulls will luck out on that. And I think he'll be an affordable contract like you saw with Kobe. Now, you see Kobe's contract now is a steal.
Oh, there's no question about it.
Ios is a steal. The Bulls really worked that to their favor for the next 3 or 4 years. So, you get Patrick Williams at an affordable contract. Now you keep 3 of your best young players. And, if you really want, because I thought they should have made trade deadlines. I thought they should have moved, just clear house. Let's get what we can and move forward. Because at the end of the day, these teams are getting younger. By the time you decide to get younger, they're going to be experienced teams now. And then you're going to have to play catch up with those teams. You can find yourself, instead of being down 2-3 years, you might find yourself behind a team like Indiana, the Knicks, or even Detroit, 5-6 years. That's tough.
Yeah, you look at the storyline of the playoffs, so many veteran teams, big stars are already out. You look across the landscape, LeBron and AD got eliminated 4-1 by the Nuggets. That wasn't a surprise. The defending champions, you figured, win that series. But you look at the injuries around the NBA. Jimmy Butler hasn't played. Joel Embiid is playing on one leg. Giannis and Lillard are out for the Bucks. They're going to be eliminated tonight. It's just crazy. Kevin Durant is out. Steph Curry didn't even make it. I mean, it really is a changing of the guard. In the
here's the problem. Okay, here's the problem. America, listen to me, okay? These players are not in shape. They're not. They don't practice anymore like they used to. If you look at the injuries that are happening, now Embiid's had a knee injury. There's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. Somebody fell into his leg or whatever, and he got hurt. That's something you can't guard against. But all these calf injuries, these soft tissue injuries, this is from not practicing. These guys don't practice anymore because in their, in the Players Association contract, they have a certain how many days they can practice compared to how many days they play during the week. So they're walking through more things. Your body has to be conditioned to play in 100 and some games. You do. You have to. When you look at a guy like DeMar DeRozan and how he works out in the summertime, and he's playing in this in the Drew League, you notice like he never has any hamstrings or any calf injuries because he plays. He's basically playing a full season. Now, we said earlier he should take off a little bit because he's year 15, year 16. Take off a little bit. You don't have to play as much. But these younger kids who are not playing, not playing in summer leagues, they're not really pushing their bodies during the year. The teams are not practicing because they need the rest, load management, all that stuff. This is why all these guys are hurting.
Well, there's no question the Bulls are going to explore the trade market for Zach LaVine. The problem is after having the foot surgery, he hasn't played in several months, so it's kind of a buyer beware situation. I threw something out on Twitter. Would you do Zach for Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes, the Lakers? What would you want for? What do you think Zach is worth at this point in his career?
I think Zach is an all-star player, and to me he's still a top 25 player in this league. He still can do a lot of things. I don't care if his, people, you got to see what his foot is. Zach's still going to be explosive because one thing about Zach, he works hard. He's going to work, make sure his body's right when it's time to come back and play. So I don't worry about that. But if I'm making a trade for Zach, I'm not even going to the Lakers because the Lakers really don't have nothing for me.
Right, that's true.
You don't have anything for me that's worth me trading you unless you're going to give me first round picks and I'll take a young player back. That's the only way I would do that. But I'm looking at teams where I can go get young talent. I'm looking at, Detroit Pistons. Hey, how about you give me Duran? And, how about you give me the kid Ivy? I'll give you Zach LaVine and maybe another player. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking to I don't want any money back. I don't want to take a bad contract back. I don't want to take a bad player back. I want somebody, if we're going to get rid of Zach, it's got to help us too. It can't help the Lakers. You put Zach on the Lakers team, how much better is the Lakers team this year? It's much better than it was this team that just got beat. They'll still get beat.
They're going to do something. They're still going to make LeBron happy.
They're still going to get beat against Denver. But remember I told you, if they would have went to the other bracket, they would have had much more success.
And the coach was like, "Oh, we're not going to lose to try to get a more favorable matchup." Well, you damn well should have.
You should have because I believe they would have upset Oklahoma City in the first round. I believe they would have won that side.
They led Denver every game at halftime.
Yes. I believe that they would have been playing in the Western Conference Finals had they been on the other side of the bracket because now you got Minnesota versus Detroit now in the semifinals. So that's going to be a power game. You imagine if they would have been in the first round game, they would have probably played Oklahoma City in the first round instead of New Orleans.
Been eighth, yeah.
If they would have lost and they would have eighth, they would have played in the first round. They could have won. That was a much more favorable matchup because first of all, AD would have had a field day on Chet. He'd have killed him. LeBron would have killed whoever he's guarding. And their wings would have given some problems. They could have rotated all these different wings on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then you have rim protection back there with Anthony Davis. That's a much favorable matchup. You don't match up well against Denver. Even though they played well enough, they just didn't have enough firepower. And Jokic is a different animal. And when Murray gets going and Murray starts to be that number 2 guy, sometimes number 1 guy, there's problems.
It'll be interesting to see the changing landscape in the NBA this summer because I mentioned so many power teams, big stars who were eliminated early. You're going to see some guys making trade requests, wanting to move from here to there. It's going to be a crazy summer. It really is.
I would expect, honestly, like don't be surprised you don't see Embiid's name come up, wanting to move. Don't be surprised about Giannis. Listen, Giannis. Okay. Milwaukee got what they deserved. Okay, they got what they deserve. Okay, you fired it. And I like Doc Rivers. I'm not saying nothing about Doc Rivers. I'm not saying a bad word about Doc Rivers. You just don't fire a coach who's got you the second best record in the NBA.
They're 30-13.
They're 30-13. They were dominant at home. Because you don't like him, because he's asking you to get other people involved and help your teammates, bring your teammates up. You don't like him, and then they want to move your brother because your brother's holding up a spot that they need, that they feel that they need. He thinks they need to compete for a title. Got to get him out of here. Okay, now look what look what happened now. You got in, Doc Rivers comes. You're asking him to come in and turn everything around in a half a season. That's not going to happen. Okay, how good a coach Doc Rivers is. You still have guys that need to change their ways that are willing to make sacrifices. It's Dame Lillard's first year there. He really didn't want to be there.
Right.
Okay.
He wanted to go to Miami.
He smiled and did all the pictures and all that and was a good sport about it. But at the end of the day, he did not want to be there. And you could tell the whole year he played like that. And when Giannis was out, honestly, they played better without Giannis. He got to score. He got to be the lead person. He didn't want to be there. And I think that's going to be a dynamic they're going to have to look at because, like, if he's not happy there, and I'm sure he's going to probably go, his manager's going to say, hey, man, I got to get out of here. I can't play here. Watch it. Don't be surprised if Miami doesn't come back up and they start talking with them again.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a really wild summer in the NBA. We'll be here to follow it all. So now, with all these big stars, a lot of these heavyweight teams out, obviously Denver's the favorite.
Yes.
We saw last night Kristaps Porzingis had the same calf injury as
See?
Giannis, and he's missed 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
That's what I'm telling
Boston
you.
could be vulnerable Sunday.
I'm telling you, Mark, soft tissue. These injuries to these players are soft tissue. They're not muscular, they're not bone, they're not, knee ligaments. It's soft tissue, calf. That comes from not being in shape. And the teams are going to have to start looking at that as far as the practice schedules are concerned. Like when we played, we practiced every day. We played 4 games in 5 nights, and there was one day we practiced, But you go back and look at those numbers of those championship teams the Bulls had, we had the least amount of games missed during those championship runs. Guys didn't miss games. Guys practiced. Guys played, and we had guys hurt. I mean, John Paxson, I tell this story all the time about John Paxson and Bill Cartwright. John Paxson, we're getting ready to go to Houston. John Paxson has the knee surgery on a Monday. He's back on Thursday on a scope, okay? You get a guy now, get the knee scope, he out for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. Guys were just tougher. Guys were physically tougher, and they understood what it meant to be out there because they weren't making the money these guys make now. You got guys making $4 million, $5 million back then, which was a lot of money. But now you got guys making 25 and 30, and they're like, I'm not going out there. I'm sitting back and chilling. I don't mess my brand up, if I'm not playing good. And then you have guys, think about this. You have guys that don't want to play against other guys because they don't want to look bad. Like, I don't want to go, the number 1 guy doesn't want to go against the number 2 guy. The matchups and the rivalries are no longer there because guys don't want to battle against each other. That's why I like to see guys like, I love to see Giannis because Giannis used to be like that. Giannis used to be like, I don't want to work out with anybody. I don't want to be no diva. I just want to play hard and help Milwaukee. He now has turned into a diva, and it's caused a lot of problems in Milwaukee.
You see, LeBron didn't shake hands at the end of the series last night. Just stormed off.
That's not a good look for LeBron. I mean, listen. You can't blame LeBron though. LeBron came to play last night. He came to play.
Oh, he's great.
He came to play.
Yeah.
It's the others. Okay, and with the others, I think what LeBron's going to have to do, and I think the Lakers may move on from LeBron. I really do. I think they're going to try to get a haul for him right now. Try to build around AD and try to get as much as they can for him because they know his son is going to be possibly drafted. So I can see them moving from him. Because listen, as great as LeBron is, he's too ball dominant. They play a lot better when D'Angelo Russell has the ball and is playing the true point guard position, and he's able to play pick and roll. He's able to get AD involved. He's able to get the shooters involved. When LeBron has the ball, LeBron is like more ISO centric. I'm gonna do a step back, pull up 3.
Mm-hmm.
You come skewing from you go over here. He's directing everybody and passes the ball when shot's not available for him or the shot's not available for AD. Then I'll pass it to the third guy. That's why they get in trouble. But if he would let other people handle the ball, they might have been They might have been a better game for Denver, but they still would have beat them.
We're going to talk Bears draft in just a minute. For one last thing on the NBA, I think we have a new face of the league, Anthony Edwards. This guy is a killer, and he's 22.
Did I not say that? Did I not say that? I don't know what episode it was, America, but I said this before the season. I said, watch out for Minnesota. Watch out for Minnesota. They're going to be the team to watch this year. And Anthony Edwards is going to be the face of this NBA.
And he's great with his interviews. He's smiling. He's personable.
Listen, I was arguing with somebody the other day on Twitter, but I'm always getting these Twitter fights, So the argument was when I said, if he's not the face of the NBA right now, it's really close, right? So somebody said, well, what about Wemby? Okay. Wemby doesn't have the personality that he has, and he doesn't play the brand of basketball that people love to see. Above the rim, dunking, plays with flair. He can shoot the 3. He can get to the back. He looks like they put a side-by-side video of Michael Jordan on a move Michael did and that move he did when he dunked on Kevin Durant. And it was almost identical the way that move looked, how they set it up and how they were able to get by their first man and just explode to the rim. Yeah. It looked eerily identical. And he just has that look. He's got that swag to him, and he's talking trash to Kevin Durant, a veteran. Hall
And
of
he's
Famer.
22 and he can motivate his teammates. In the
Yes.
press conference, he's yelling at Karl Anthony
Yes.
Towns for getting in foul trouble all the time.
Yes.
And they're listening.
He's 22 years old. That was the big thing too, Mark, because I didn't know how Karl Anthony Towns was going to accept that because he had been the man up until that point. And even, Anthony's first year there, he showed flashes that he is going to be the number one guy at some point, but it was still Karl Anthony Towns' team. And when Karl Anthony Towns went out these last 2 years with these injuries, it allowed him to ascend to another level. And now it's clearly his team. And I tell you what, it's going to be a great series because Minnesota has the bigs to battle Jokic.
Right. Yeah.
You got rim protection with Rudy Gobert, who can get out there and move his
Bring
feet.
Naz Reid in off the bench.
Naz Reid off the bench. Karl Anthony Towns as well. That means they're going to be running 3 guys at Jokic to play defense as well. See, you had to worry about Anthony Davis most of the night, but you could also put Aaron Gordon on him. So you're going to have to worry about a Karl Anthony Towns because he can play inside, outside. Naz Reid can play inside, outside, also handle the ball, bring the ball up, initiate offense. It's going to be a great series.
Whispers, you going to put up a poster of Anthony Edwards in your room?
Not yet, but I might bet on him. I mean, he is explosive. He's awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's really been interesting. It's only been one round of the playoffs so far, but he's already vaulted way up the list of most popular players in the league.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
I made a bet with our crew here earlier that Stacey was say, "I told you so," and there it was.
Yes.
So you won the bet.
But I said it. I said it though. I don't. You go back and look at it. I said it right before the season even started. When we were talking about the preseason, I called it. I said the Minnesota Timberwolves
Don't
do
hurt
not
yourself.
sleep.
The funny thing is too, when he was the number 1 pick in the draft, he played 1 year at Georgia, and he did not have a good year. He didn't shoot the ball well,
No.
and I was wondering, why is this guy being talked about so much? Well, we found out, man,
Hey,
he's good now.
listen, you go back and you see some of his highlights at Georgia.
Yeah.
And with some of his high school highlights, you saw where he was number 1 pick. That kid athletically is off the charts. I mean, vertical over 40 inches. He plays above the rim, and he's got the ability to score at different levels. It's not just jump shot and dunk. It's I can take 2 dribbles, raise up, step away from you, score. I can play mid-range game. I can post up, shoot fadeaway jumpers. He's got the total package. Total package.
Yeah, if you remember that draft, it was Edwards, then it was Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, and Patrick Williams. That was the top 4 in that draft.
What are you saying, Mark?
I'm saying that Timberwolves did really well.
Mark, that's dirty, Mark.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
There's a message here, Mark. Don't listen to him, America. We're happy where we are. We were number 4, baby. Wow, Mark.
No, what he's saying is those guys are already gone.
Oh,
We had to get somebody else.
Well, listen,
So Wiseman's been a huge
Wiseman-
disappointment.
he was terrible.
And LaMelo Ball's always hurt.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's true.
LaMelo Ball. But LaMelo Ball made an all-star team, and he's shown that he's a superstar player. He just can't stay
It's
healthy.
those damn shoes.
I don't know what it is, man, but I don't want to say the shoes because he's wearing Pumas.
Yeah.
He ain't wearing the triple
No, the
Bs.
big
He's wearing
baller, yeah.
he's wearing Pumas. So obviously it's the Pumas because he can't stay healthy.
Too much basketball. Like you said, that year-round basketball.
Hey man, sometimes you got to go get some rest.
That's right. You gotta
You-
take a
you
trip
can-
to Mexico.
Oh, take
It's fun in
yeah.
the sun.
Oh, baby,
Have some
Puerto
Coronas.
Just don't
Vallarta.
stay at that resort.
Have some Modelo's.
1, 2, 3, Puerto Vallarta, baby.
All right, so Stacey hasn't sung in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
So
Lord.
he's
I might
ready to
still
go
be
with the
hungover,
golden
America.
pipes. When it
Oh,
comes
Lord.
to being treated like royalty, make sure to contact our good friend, nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich, for your auto, home, and business needs. You can reach him at jeffvuk.com. The phone number, 847-825-4783. Did they get you up to sing at the wedding? Did you
No,
sing at the
I
reception?
wasn't the
Oh,
wedding
we
singer.
tried.
No, Tim wanted me to say something. He wanted me to be one of the people to say something.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, I can't do it.
Everyone
I said-
turned it down.
Everybody turned. He came to me. He came to the big communicator to do it, right? But I didn't do it. Oh, let me sing this song real quick and I'll tell you the term. Nationwide is on your side.
Just
So-
back from vacation.
So he gets up there, right? America. We call him Timmy Whisper for a reason, right? The guy only speaks like 2 words every 45 minutes, right? Or he throws a zinger in there when you don't least expect it. We don't have one of those little buttons to stop him, okay? So he can get through. So he gets up there and he speaks about his son and his new daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law.
So it was like a comedy show.
Was it?
It
Really?
was a comedy show. He was so funny. Like he was saying things, and he
I
was
gotta
like,
see the tape.
"Oh, dude, it was." I said the first thing I said was, "Mark will never freaking believe this."
That's what he did
But
say.
I said,
I gotta see the tape.
Mark will never believe that this dude was this funny. He got up there and he was like a monologue, and people were laughing. And he was. I was like,
I do that at every wedding.
I said, but see, I said, see, this is the Timmy Whispers I know.
Yeah.
This is the guy I know that
To
no
the
one else
point where
sees.
my new daughter goes, "Oh no." When I started,
really?
Yeah.
I started a story about her. She goes, "Oh no," and all these other people started laughing. I said, "Oh yes,
Oh yes.
the
Oh
roast
yes.
is on."
Yes. Yeah. The roast is not a wedding. It's a roast.
Wow.
Yeah. He went berserk on the
You
man.
drop any Christopher Walken on him?
No, there's.
Oh,
well,
there's a
but
new Christopher Walken.
My older
Is it?
brother
There's
was.
his older brother,
Oh,
Chris.
no.
Chris, if you're listening, we know you're a loyal fan of the show. Paul Papaya, that's what I call him. Because
Larry the Lobster.
he's wearing a lobster. And Paul Papaya, because he's as red as a papaya.
Well, he's more orange.
Oh my God, he was orange. I was like, I'm talking to him. I'm just looking at his face. I'm like, are you okay? Are you gonna explode like Scanners? I thought he was just gonna explode. His head was just gonna blow up, right? But his face is red. But so Chris can do a Christopher Walken. It was really good. It was really good.
Wow, dueling Walkens
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Kelley family.
Yeah, we got
We've
a
done
bunch
that
of
at
people.
parties a few times.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna-
conversing that way.
We're gonna bring him. We're gonna bring Paul Papaya on here one day. And his face, we're gonna show you his face, ladies and gentlemen. His face is red as hell.
All right, we're going to take a brief timeout, and we come back with Talk Bears, the talk of the NFL draft, the coup they pulled off in round one. That's next. Now, give me the hot sauce. We mentioned Whispers entertaining the crowd at his son's wedding. No Christopher Walken, but can we round up Christopher to sell some hot sauce for us?
Yeah, it's not a problem, Mark. I was down there with Whispers, and there's one thing that they have all over Mexico. It's hot sauce. And it was really hot. I'm not
They
recovered
call it
yet.
water down there, don't they? Hot
Yeah, I
sauce.
mean, they just drink that stuff like a brew. But yeah, if you want to buy some here, and now that I'm back, I can't have any for like a week. I can't even have a beer for like a week. It was brutal. So go online, gimmethehotsauce.com or get it at Jules.
Jules.
Did you put a bottle like in the wedding favors, the gift packets and stuff?
No.
I tried, but I wasn't allowed. I was barely allowed there, and I'm tired, Mike. I had to carry Whispers bags everywhere. The guy loaded up. He had like multiple suits, and his wife put her shoes in his bag.
Oh,
It
man.
was overwhelming. And then
It's
there's
tough
some
for an
other
80-year-old
guy there
right?
who thought he was me too.
Yeah.
Whispers' brother. I'm like, come on, it's enough.
I tell you what, Mark, the hot sauce would never made it. It would have been confiscated.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Customs.
We'd have been in custody.
They were taking stuff from
They were
everybody.
taking from everybody.
Really?
Like,
It was
oh
like-
my goodness.
And people are arguing. It's like, don't do that. You're gonna get arrested.
Yeah. One of our people in the group had like protein powder. I don't know what the hell they would think they could get protein powder over the border.
And a vape pen.
Oh,
with
the
weed
vape
in
pen.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
With
weed
weed in it. Like, what are you doing?
Look at all the people he hangs out with bringing vape pens and
Kelley's.
powder.
Walking off the plane with booze in their hand. Like, no, you can't walk through the gate with that.
No.
No, what are
Come
you
on.
doing?
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
I'm like, go buy a timeshare. Get it
You know
over
what?
with.
You know, Mark, they thought he'd get away with it. Privilege.
Yeah.
Thought he'd get away with it.
Yeah.
So you guys, were you in Mexico when the NFL draft started on Thursday?
Yes.
What did you think? Were you able to watch it? I mean,
It was an exciting draft. We all knew it was going to be Caleb Williams at number one.
but 9 was
Nine was
good
a
surprise.
was a good surprise.
Who called that?
I don't know who called it. You trying to own that up?
Yeah, that's
What are you,
right.
what are you fucking
See,
Mel
I told
Kiper
you.
over there?
I told you. I bet you
I did.
guys.
I said, it's going to be Rome. And he's like,
Roma
he's
Dunze.
like, no, it's not.
Dunze, baby.
He's like, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is.
Listen, man, I didn't say that. I said everyone
I
grabbed
did.
Robert Dunze. Okay, number one. He's number 9 pick. You know, because there was rumors they were going to move down and try to, accumulate some picks. So you didn't never know what 9 was going to be. Plus, I believe they thought he was going to be gone. I think he was their number one.
Yeah, a lot of mock drafts had
I
him
think
going before that.
after Caleb, I think he was their number one guy on the board because I saw them when he was doing his stuff up in Indianapolis. They were in love with him, how he was running his routes and how he was competing, and he didn't have to be there. And they were, you could see that Poles really, really was infatuated with him.
Well, and the Chargers took an offensive lineman, the highest rated one, the kid from Notre Dame, Alt, at 5. And then you thought maybe the Titans at 7 would take a Dunze. They took another offensive lineman. Then Atlanta took Penix, which shocked the hell out of everybody.
Wow.
And that Dunze fell right in the Bears' laps.
Well, I tell you what, that many quarterbacks, first of all, going in the first round, that was crazy.
Yeah, 6 of the top 12
Yeah, I
picks.
was like, wow, man. And I couldn't believe it. Well, listen, Penix, I thought Penix kind of got shortchanged out of that group, all the guys they started talking about. So I wasn't really surprised that he was in the first round. I was might have surprised he went to Atlanta with they just signed Cousins for all that money.
100 million.
Yeah, Cousins, I'm telling you, he's got a rabbit foot up his ass. He's the only guy I know that just plays like the lottery, man. I'm gonna hang out with him, man, and when he play the lottery, because he wins every time.
And no
But I
mask,
asked
no
an
gun.
NBA player, I forget who it was. They said, "Who's your favorite NFL player?" And he goes, "Kirk Cousins." And I looked at him like, "Why Kirk Cousins?" Because that guy gets bank everywhere he goes.
He gets the bag. Everywhere he goes, man. He just is like, the funny thing about him is like he'll take the franchise tag every time. Then take it every time. He doesn't care because he knows he's going to get paid $30 million. It's all going to be guaranteed. Like, I'll take the franchise tag. And he's just stacking up money. And then on top of that, he's playing well. So when you stacking up the franchise tag and you're playing well, you force a team to have to pay you what you're worth. And so everywhere he goes, he was what was he, a third round pick?
Third or fourth,
Yeah,
but
they
drafted him the same year they
Same year,
drafted Robert
yes.
Griffin the third.
Yeah. And then, he got, Robert Griffin had a great first year and then got, injuries the second year and he took over and he's never looked back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but they had to look at it saying, hey, look, we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be in the future. So let's get this kid who's a little older, get this kid sit behind Kirk Cousins a couple of years, 3 years tops, and then he'll be ready to turn it over.
They signed Cousins for 4. I think only the first 2. Well, no, all the money's guaranteed, but they're thinking that after 2 years they might be ready to make a change. But Penix is already 24. He's had 2 ACL injuries. He's hurt his shoulder. That's why people thought he might slide into the second round just because of his age and his injury history. But anybody who watched him during the playoffs, the guy can sling.
If you watched him during the season in Washington and the way he throws the football and those receivers that he had that were super fast, like Ilnyckj and all these guys could get open and get past coverage, and he just rocketed the ball down the field. That's one thing you have, and he can make every throw. He can make everything from the hash marks to deep to over the middle. He can make every single throw, and he still ran a 4.5 with bad knees, supposedly, at the combine.
People got to know Kirk Cousins a little bit from that quarterback series that was on Netflix. He's got the family, really wholesome All-American guy. And now
and his Barrington jersey in the back.
He was actually, about as pissed. He's never going to show it in public, but the fact they drafted Penix after they signed him this big contract.
He said something.
He's going to be looking over his shoulder from day one.
He said something about it. Like he was like they had interviewed him, and it was like some quote he said, like, I couldn't believe that they went and got a quarterback, and I'm here. So it was like, oh, he was thinking about that. Yeah. So because in Atlanta, if he throw an interception, they're gonna be like,
we want Penix.
We want Penix. We want Penix. But I tell you, you talk about that quarterback show helping or hurting a guy. You look at Spencer Rattler. He was at Oklahoma, and he transferred to South Carolina. Redid his career. They were talking about the reason why he slipped in the draft was that QB1 show.
Right. Yeah.
And they were talking like a lot of scouts were turned off by his actions in the QB1 show, and they held that against him in the draft. And it was like, and then there was a lot of people came back and said, well, how could you hold that against him, but not hold what Josh Allen said, that he was a racist and he was saying Aryan Nation kind of things, but you didn't hold that against him. It's a double standard. So I was like, man, you can't hold what a kid said at 17 or 18 years old and then hold it when they're 23, 24. We all do dumb stuff. We all say dumb things, I mean, I think Whisper's the only one that's never done anything stupid, but that's a lie. He has
a long list,
and he's still doing things stupid. No, I'm just playing. Don't let Mark come between us, baby. That's why the Beatles broke up. Somebody's got to be Yoko Ono, baby. Somebody's got to be Yoko Ono.
So yeah, don't you think they stole that Austin Booker though?
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
I don't know. That might be the one that you go home.
He's a guy that was a basketball player growing up, and he still can fill out a little bit. He could be a decent pass rusher, but in the 5th round, you're taking a developmental guy, hoping. Hoping.
But he looks like that guy who will.
Hey, the guy was MVP. He was the best player on the team. Yeah. He was the #1 rated punter, averaged over 45 yards a kick.
You could have got him. You could have got him at 6 or 7.
Well, they didn't think they could. That's what
unless he Ray Guy. No, we that 4th round pick. You go get a lineman.
Well, what did we pick Sauerbrunn at, or Sauerbrunn all those years ago?
2nd round.
Yeah. He turned out to be great.
Oh,
got to have a great punter.
No.
It's all about ball placement these days.
No. Yeah, listen. 4th round pick. I'm sorry.
How about Caleb Williams texting him and saying, "You're not going to be punting much here"?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Hey, Caleb, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
Okay, but get out on the field and let us see first. Okay, a lot of quarterbacks come here with that mindset, and it's like 3 and out. It's like a crap table. 7 out.
People were worried about his image, whether he was going to fit, the whole NFC North, Bears image and all the rest of it. I think he came in, he said all the right things about the Bears, all the right things about the city of Chicago. He won all the press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
People are inclined to like him.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it was all about the painted nails and the Hollywood.
Yeah.
I saw where who was it? One of the Bears cornerbacks that said something about him and went and apologized to him, and they're cool now. He still got to come out here and perform. He's still got to come out here and perform. There's still a lot of Justin Fields love out there from a lot of people, including that locker room. That still ain't changed. So he's going to have to win over his locker room. He's going to have to win over the city of Chicago, which I think he will. He's set up for success. They did everything they could to make sure his rookie year is as smooth as possible. This is unheard of. This is a team that won 7 games last year and could have easily won 10. Okay, they could have easily been a 10-win team last year, 9 at worst case scenario. Now you got that team coming back. Defense is upgraded. Sweat came in, changed your whole defense. Now you get a quarterback. Now he's got weapons. He's got people to throw to across the board. It's not just like 1 or 2 guys.
And
he's
people
got a ton
are
of
raving
people.
about him. All the draft shows are saying the Bears have got more weapons than just about any team in the league.
Yes.
When's the last time you ever heard that about the Chicago Bears?
The receiver room is going to be like there's none but all pros in there.
Except for Belichick. Because they were asking him, he said he's only ever seen one player in history that was ready for the NFL his first year.
And who was that?
Lawrence Taylor.
Well, that's
okay.
Not much of a reach there.
He was ready in 8th grade, but that's it.
But he's set up for success. He's set up for success. You got a running game behind him. You got a better offensive coordinator, better quarterback coach. The offense, I think, is going to be more defined. It's not going to be like, let's just go out and see if this works week 1. If it works, we'll do it again week 2. These are going to be guys that are going to have a game plan for this kid. They're going to put him in places where he will succeed. He'll make throws. He'll make bad throws. He'll be like, I think he'll have the year C.J. Stroud had for the Texans. I think this team will win 10 games or more with him as your quarterback. He's going to look bad some nights, but they got enough talent around him that can offset that. They got a running game now. Swift is a dynamic running back. Can run between the tackles, outside, inside. He can catch the football. Komet is a guy that I think he's going to lean on heavily in the middle of the field. And then you got these guys that can stretch. Keenan Allen, you got these guys, DJ they can stretch the field. And you got a Doomsday, who's going to probably be the slot guy, who really is probably a number 2 guy who's going to be in the slot. And he's going to be going against third level cornerbacks and killing them.
So it's all on Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator.
Shane, baby.
Try to find a way.
Shane, if you hear me out there, Shane, hey, you upgrade, bro. That's all I can say is upgrade. I'm sorry. Getsy? Oh, well, Lord have mercy. Jesus.
He's with the Raiders now.
Let's see what the Raiders do next year. Okay.
The problem for the Bears, though, is that now people are saying the NFC North might be the deepest division in all of football. I mean, you've got the Lions who've proven they're legit. They'll be back next year as good as ever. Jordan Love came on strong second half of the Packers. Now, Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy, that could be, they may take a step back before they get back into the mix, but it's a really strong division.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. The favorite has to be Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to drop off too far. No. I think they're going to be right back where they were. I think Green Bay made some strides last year. Jordan Love, at the beginning of the year, they were talking about trading Jordan Love. They were like, he may not be our quarterback of the future. And it was like the owner or somebody said that. It was like, man, that's a bold statement after like 6 games. And then he picked it up and LaFleur, I give LaFleur a lot of credit because he put a system in that is going to take advantage of his talent. That's what a good coach does. Say, you know what? Let's put this in here, put a couple plays in here that gets him out of the pocket a little bit and gives him some comfortability. And I thought they did that in the second half, and he exploded. Their running game took off a little bit. Their defense got better. They got a lot of good young receivers, a lot of no-name guys, but these guys will be names. Like they'll end up being like a Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams was like kind of like a no-name guy when he first got there, and Aaron Rodgers made him into the player he was. So I see a lot of their receivers. They got a really good receiving core. Minnesota, I don't know. I mean, was it a reach with McCarthy? I don't know. We'll see. I didn't see enough of him at Michigan. I know he's a winner. He's winning everywhere he's gone. Guys gravitate to him. He's got that leadership, kind of like he could be like a Jim McMahon type of guy, that gutsy, gritty type of guy that's going to go out there and lay it on the line for you. He's an Illinois kid too.
Yeah, he grew up LaGrange Park.
Oh, yeah. Like, where did he go to
Went
high
to
school?
Nazareth Academy.
Nazareth, yeah. So it's good to see him there. They're gonna re-sign Jefferson, which there was talk about trading him and him leaving. So now he's gonna have a number one guy. I don't know how the running game is.
They got Aaron Jones from the Packers. They signed.
I'm not really happy. I'm not too happy about that. That doesn't move the needle for me.
He's hurt a lot, but he's good.
He's always hurt, man. Always hurt. So it doesn't move the needle for me. But they got to get some more talent. I think the Bears, as an offense, is more talented than Minnesota right now. So it's up to the Bears to go out there and do what they're supposed to do. You know, their defense last year, you know, those games early in the season where those games should have been won, they weren't able to finish those games. This year, they have to finish them. This year, they've got to get, you know, with Sweat being here a full season now, you got that rushing the quarterback. I thought that turned their whole season around defensively. Because you remember, we talked with Mark Brody. They could never get pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback was just sitting back there and say, oh, look over here. I'm going to go over here. I'll be right back. I'm going to go and see who's winning the 12 o'clock game. That's how much time they had in the pocket. Yeah. And so once you got Sweat in there and got a consistent pass rush, it enabled those DBs to be able to get more interceptions and become all pros back there now. So hopefully they get that other side, you know, manned up. Maybe they get somebody in free agency. Who knows?
Oh, I'm sure they will. They'll add somebody before training camp.
But they got money because you saved a lot of money.
They still have money
not having to pay Justin Fields. Yeah. And you got to save a lot of money. So you'll be able to go out there and go get a cut. So somebody's going to get cut.
Yeah, usually by June 1st, because of the way the cap works, some veterans get cut loose.
Yes.
There'll be somebody available.
There'll be somebody available that opposite side of Sweat. And if they get that person, whoo. Because now it's balanced now. See, it's always been here in Chicago. The defense has been, you know, defense been up here, offense been down here. So now it's balanced now. Both, it's like pretty much even now. Now you got a balanced football team. You know, they got the weapons around this kid. I still think it's going to take him a couple of years to really reach where he should be. But he's going to be a franchise quarterback, I think.
Whispers, you're a businessman. What did you think the move the Bears made the day before the draft when they announced their plans for a new stadium on the lakefront, and they made it sound like the taxpayers are only going to be liable for $900 million? That new facility is not going to be $3.2 billion. It's probably going to be 5 or 6, and the taxpayer is going to be on the hook for all the overage. You think that building is going to go there, or do you think they'll end up going back to Arlington Heights?
I think it's still a leverage game to go to Arlington Heights.
Yeah,
because that still makes the most sense. You have all the opportunity to build a entertainment park, which you do not have in the city. You also have the different tax base issues that you can't play with that. So they'd have to bond this out through the state at a very, very high level over a very long period of time.
The state doesn't seem too inclined to want to help them build a new stadium.
No.
Yeah, I just thought the press conference was fascinating. You guys were traveling. You probably didn't catch much of it. But it was Kevin Warren, the mayor of Chicago, you know, kumbaya. And they made it sound like this is a done deal. It's all going to work. There's not going to be any problems.
But Mark, did you see the renderings?
They had a pastor there saying an invocation to pray for the Bears and all. It was quite a production.
But did you see the renderings? That was a dead giveaway for me. Like, no, you didn't spend too much time on those, did you? I mean, one of them says, what did it say, stadium across the front?
Oh.
Like, you named the stadium.
Well, you know, the whole thing is they talked about they wanted an enclosed dome so they could potentially bring a Super Bowl, Final Fours, big name concerts in here. I don't know if it's going to fly. I mean, it's going to be a political issue over the.
No, I think you'll. I mean, it looks good. It looks like a boat, a cruise ship
stadium.
It looks like a cruise ship.
Another spaceship landed in Chicago.
Park?
They're going to name it after you.
Where's everybody going to park?
Well, they're going to tear down Soldier Field.
Now Telluride Stadium,
a parking lot.
Yeah, man. I tell you what.
Well, it's not historically protected anymore, so they can tear it down.
Yeah, it's
that's too bad.
Yeah, I think the Arlington Heights thing is better. They got more. They got more property. You can, like Tim said, you can do so much more out there with a park and other attractions for fans to be there and make it more interactive. Yeah.
Closer to O'Hare. There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, this will be something that's going to be talked about a lot in the coming years.
And most of the players live up north anyway.
Yeah, since they train up there.
So they're closer to they probably leave Lake Forest and use Arlington Heights as a practice facility. They can have their practice facility on that whole land.
Yeah, so this story's not over. No question about that. We're going to take a final break, talk a little bit about the WNBA season getting started, maybe mix in a little baseball as we wrap things up on Gimme the Hot Sauce. The WNBA season is going to get going in a couple of weeks. Training camps have already opened. And Stacey, did you see the shoe deal that Caitlin Clark got? $28 million over 8 years from Nike.
And Nike can afford to pay that.
Yeah, they can afford it.
Plus they're riding in the attention that she's getting. from college and being the great college player that she was. She's going to change the game, I think, for the WNBA. I think this whole group of these next couple of years of these young girls coming in, they're going to have to relook about how they're paying these girls because these girls have options now. They don't have to come to the WNBA. They can go overseas and make $1 million and play over there. So, but then nobody wants to go over there after seeing what happened to Griner. So they're going to have to start upping the pay a little bit.
Well, people were talking about the rookie wage scale in WNBA. I think the first year is like $73,000. Well, Caitlin Clark says that's tip money for me now. I'm getting my money from Nike.
That Nike money.
Speaking of WNBA, okay. Come on, Sky. Did you see the press conference?
Oh yeah.
That was terrible. Like, everybody else, I watched all the other WNBA stars.
Big
they had like parades, big production.
Stars,
and you're getting a girl who won a national championship, who's a big time college, one of the top college players.
Got a great personality.
Great personality that you can sell. And it looked like they had a press conference in a garage. Like it was terrible. It was like no fanfare. It was like in some high school or something. She's walking in and there was like no.
You know where that was?
Where?
That was your old practice facility.
Where?
That's where the Sky practice in Deerfield, the multiplex.
At the multiplex?
That's where they practice. You believe that?
That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was horrible, man. I was expecting something a little bit like the band playing.
Yeah.
The Sky cheerleaders out there. Somebody doing something. Benny the Bull, and then somebody. And what's the mascot for the Sky?
Oh, the Sky Guy is what they call him.
Well, they should have had him come there, do something, have a band there or something. Because when they showed all the other, a lot of people made a comment about that. I saw it on Twitter. That's the only reason why I saw it. They said, "Can you believe the reception they gave?" Reese, and I'm like, what? And so I looked at it. I looked at all the other ones. I'm like, oh man, that was kind of boring.
What I can't believe is you guys were practicing there in the late '80s and '90s.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
in a public facility like that?
Why?
We'd walk in there with our TV cameras and stuff, and Phil Jackson was running around the track, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have it somewhere like downtown somewhere? Like even if you had to rent something for the day. Call the Bulls up and say, can we use the United Center?
I think they're going to build a facility for them because Dwayne Wade's an investor now, so now they actually got some money coming in.
You hope. Everybody talks about investing. Are they really investing? Is the money going where it's supposed to go?
Conspiracy theory.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man.
Let's send out our investigative reporter, Fran. Check in on it.
I was just disappointed. I just thought it should have been somewhere else, another venue, and been a little bit more like in Chicago. Chicago, how we're known for. We're not known for them. Come on, man.
No.
Come on,
Well, speaking of female athletes who don't need the money, Candace Parker announced her retirement. She's making that big-time money over at TNT.
Yes, she is. She had a great career, man.
Oh, she was fantastic.
You look at her numbers she's put up and all the awards that she won, man. She's heavily decorated. Hall of Famer, man. Hall of Famer, straight to the Hall of Fame. Don't even wait.
I know.
Just get her in there.
I knew her when I was working at Channel 5. She was at Naperville Central winning state championships. Yep. We were going there just about every week to cover her games and practices, and she was so mature as a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid playing high school ball. You knew she was going to do great things. And now she's the only WNBA player to win a championship with 3 different organizations. So she's accomplished so much in her career. She said she would have loved to play another year, but I think she's had like 9 or 10 surgeries, and she's like, I just can't play anymore. My body won't let me.
Yeah, and then also she's got young kids, so she wants to spend time with her family. And I mean, if you don't have to do it anymore, I mean, because at some point you have to give it up. At some point, your body starts to break down. If the game is not fun anymore, when the game becomes work, it's not a fun game like you're used to. We talk about that with players all the time, NBA players. It's like, when do you know it's over? And not based on money, because some people just keep trying to get that bag. Like, I'm gonna squeeze out 4 more years, But realistically, when you know it's over, a couple of things come to mind. It's like, number one is the game fun? Is it a job now? Forget the money. Does every day feel like I'm at a job? Basketball's fun, man. I mean, you really want to see the love of the game. Ask some NBA players if they were playing for free and they had to get a second job somewhere like they used to have to do, like in the 50s and 60s, would they still play in the NBA? It'd be interesting to see how many of them would say, yeah, I would still be playing. I know for a fact, I can name a few of them that would play for free. I know Kevin Durant would play for free. No questions asked. And I believe Anthony Edwards would play for free. Those kind of guys, Russell Westbrook would play for free. So there's a handful of guys I think would play for free.
Saw some video from some of the Indiana Fever training camps practices, and Caitlin Clark is killing people out there.
Yeah.
How good do you think she's going to be in that league?
Well, you know what? Because she can shoot from anywhere on the floor, that makes her that much more dangerous. She can handle the ball. She's going to be playing with like bigger girls. Like I don't think she really had a lot of size at Iowa. She's going to be playing with girls that are like 6'7", 6'8". They can set screens for her. But what she's going to face early, I think, it's going to determine how good she's going to have her rookie season is going to be. She's going to be faced. She's going to be on everybody's locker. Everybody's going to
because they know about that, that big money shoe contract.
Yes, and they know she's coming in with a ton of fanfare. Okay, so they're going to be on TV more. Her team's going to be on TV more. That means teams are going to be able to see the opposition more.
They're moving her games into larger arenas all around the country.
Yes, so those guys who are guarding her, you know, you heard Taurasi and those guys kind of sound like bitter herbs. So when they were when they were talking, they weren't they weren't wrong with what they said. They just probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Right. You know, there was no filter there because you know they do that little show and they don't have no filter. They're like it's that show kind of like the Manning brothers, but they have it with her and Sue Bird.
Right. Yeah,
and Taurasi has no filter. So the thing she said is absolutely true. She just probably shouldn't have said it. So she's gonna have a target on her back. You know, everybody's gonna be trying to go at her. You know, but once she settles in and you know gets comfortable in the WNBA game, she's gonna be fine.
How about the Sky? They've completely remodeled the team from the one that won the championship just a couple of years ago. Of course, James Wade is now an assistant coach with the Toronto Raptors. We had him on the show last year. Really good guy.
Yep.
But now they've got a completely new young team. It's Camila Cardoso, 6'7" from South Carolina. A little bit slow-footed. How I think she's going to fare on the pro level.
Well, I mean, she's a big, strong girl, man. She can score in the post. I mean, she's going to probably go up against girls that are her size now because you didn't see a lot of girls. You know, Angel Reese. I mean, when she'd go against Angel Reese and she dwarfed Angel Reese. So now they're teammates. You know, so they're gonna get a lot of rebounds. You know, they're gonna be a lot of blocks. But she's gonna have to you know really get an outside game. Because her game at South Carolina was all inside. She's gonna have to be able to pick and pop a little bit because if you're playing both her and Reese at the same time, you know, Reese can post up as well. And I think Angel Reese last year took a step back from basketball, and that's normal when you're making all this NIL money. You know, she became an influencer basically. She got a lot of money, you know, winning the championship with LSU. And I think she spent a lot of time building her brand. She didn't look as dominant as she did the year before. And listen, I'm just from what I'm looking at. I mean, that's how I saw it. I didn't think she was as dominant. She was really dominant the year they won the championship with rebounding and blocking shots and scoring around the basket. No one could guard her. This year, she didn't look the same way. She didn't look like, you know, I mean, she had to leave a couple of times in the game. I don't know if Mulkey benched her and said just get away from the team or whatever, but she got kind of, you know, had to go sit off the team for a little bit to get her priorities right, I think, or some family issues or something. But that LSU team was in turmoil all season long.
Well, she's already making fans around Chicagoland. She was talking about she loves to go out and try the local fare. And us, the young guys, she said Harold's Chicken was bussin'. Bussin apostrophe.
Bussin'. That's a
good
thing.
Does that mean anything to you?
That's a good. That means it's good. Bussin'. That's slang for it's the shit. That means it's on fire. It's lit. It's everything. That's bussin'.
So she's already looking for an endorsement deal from Harold.
Yeah. Harold. I don't know. Harold might not do it. Harold's already big. Harold's already big in Chicago. You don't need it. I mean, if you go national, which I don't think Harold's is national. I know Gus's world famous fried chicken is kind of out there. It's in different cities. So that would be someone you want to grab onto because Gus is out there on a national level. And they both are good chicken. Don't get me wrong. You know, Harold is good too. But Gus, Lord have mercy.
All right, we talked about maybe doing some baseball. I think we'll save that for another day. We're going to have all summer to talk about it. The one story that was interesting was I don't know if you saw this. Mike Trout is having surgery. Torn meniscus in his knee. He had 10 home runs in the first month. He's missed like half the season in the last 3 years. Which is sad because this guy is a phenomenal baseball.
Mickey Mantle recreated. Yeah. I mean, oh man, it's so sad to hear that. It's so sad to hear that. That dude is a phenomenal baseball player.
He said he was playing yesterday and he felt something like after an at bat, and then after the game, the thing swelled up and they did an MRI and they said he's got a torn meniscus. So
Man, is he still playing the outfield?
Yeah, still play center
Yeah,
field.
they may have to do like they did Bryce Harper, and
With
he might
bubble
have
wrap.
well been moving to first base.
Yeah.
He might have learned how to be a first. He should be. They should be right now. Like if I'm the Angels, I'd be trying to convert him and try to get him to learn how to play first base because that puts a lot of stress on the knees being an outfield because he's such a good athlete.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, he can cover the whole outfield. And now you're talking about knee injuries and. He had elbows. He
had everything.
Oh,
Wrist,
man,
shoulder.
he's just never
been banged
healthy.
up. Yeah.
Never healthy, man. And it's just so sad because he's such a generational talent. And a guy could win MVP. How many MVPs he won? 2 or 3?
Yeah. I mean, that's the big baseball news of the day. Mike Trout is going to be. They said it's not season ending, but he's going to miss a good chunk of the season. No question about it. Cubs are doing well. They're 18-11. White Sox swept the series from the Tampa Bay Rays. So
way to go to start, White
3
Sox.
in a row. That's where you get started.
You start right there. There's still a lot of time left in this season.
That is right.
To turn
5
around.
months left in the baseball season to turn things around on the South Side. All right, Whispers, what are you watching? Give some recommendations to the folks out there.
Yeah, I've been watching. I was watching this series while I was away on Showtime called Catching Lightning. It's the story of Lee Lightning Murray. Remember him, Stacey? The guy who took Anderson Silva to the end, but he kind of didn't train for the fight, which is funny against Anderson Silva because he had crushed the guy who had knocked out Anderson Silva, Pele, and beat Jorge Rivera and all these Rivera. And I mean, unbelievable fighter. He definitely would have been champion, but gets caught up in a road rage incident where he kills somebody, and then gets caught up in the largest bank robbery in history with the most cash in the history of any robbery, and was on the run for quite a few years, and they finally caught him. But I don't want to give away the spoiler, but he
don't spoil it.
It's great though. I mean, the guy had such a trajectory in the UFC. Like, here's the first Conor McGregor is really what he was, completely unbeatable. And then he does this crazy thing with the guys he grew up with, as they call them, the Barnfield Gang, and here's a guy making all this money and decides he's going to steal $200 and some million. Completely nuts. I mean, you're watching like this can't be real.
All right.
So,
Stacey, what do you got?
Oh, Jeremy Renner and the Mayor of Kingston, which is a great show. It's about corruption. It's the corruption in the prison system, in the town. The more I'm starting to figure out now, the more people in jail gets money, and it's a whole corrupt thing.
Was that filmed before his accident?
Yeah, just before.
Yeah, because he doesn't look like that now.
No,
he was ugly dude before.
Wow.
He was Hawkeye.
I'm serious, he was ugly dude before. Let's just be honest. He had a face only a mother could love.
Well, in the Hurt Locker, one of the bombs actually went off.
In the Hurt Locker?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, he got hit. He got hit by a snowplow or something.
It rolled over him.
Really bad.
Damn
He
near
almost
killed him.
Yeah.
Damn it. He was looking for something or in the snow or something. He wasn't actually
looking for one of his arrows. He was doing Hawkeye.
No, he was looking for something, and then I guess the plow hit him.
Yeah, he was looking for a way out. He almost got it.
He was looking for
a way out.
Yeah, that's what
my
I
God,
think.
Man. Oh my God.
Man, we're recording on a Tuesday. We're about to say goodbye to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, they're getting ready to go down,
They're down 5 with a minute and a half to go.
Embiid is not right, man. Embiid is not right.
I mean, that's the bad thing about these playoffs. So many of these teams are just crippled by injuries, which you hate to see.
Well, I tell you what, New York has looked really good. They look like they have a team that could. Who would they play in the second round? Who they play would be? No, they're not playing Boston. They would have to play Orlando, Cleveland.
They would play.
Yeah.
No, they'll play Indiana. They'll play the winner of 3-6, which is Milwaukee,
right,
Indiana.
yeah.
Milwaukee, which will be Indiana.
Yeah, it'll be Indiana. So they'll get a break there.
Don't sleep.
Oh, that great graphic.
There
It's
you
hard
go. We can't
impossible
see
to
it.
read.
Yeah, impossible to read. X-ray vision. Oh my God.
Look at Cisco.
Yeah.
He's pissed like, that's not my fault.
Come on, man. I just made it up for y'all on the go.
No, that's the NBA's actual bracket.
No, we know that. We know that's not your responsibility, Cisco.
Cisco,
you didn't create that.
Come on,
It's not
Cisco.
their fault. It's not your fault.
It's
Their
not
eyes
your
are
fault.
bad.
We're not blaming.
Come on, we're not blaming
We
you.
crushed
You know,
the poor
the,
kid.
the guy's whole self-esteem is low now. Damn.
I can see it
Cisco.
fine. I put my glasses on.
Yeah, don't cry, man. Don't cry, Cisco.
There you go.
There you
There's
go.
the matchup.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
All right, America. He's changed the graphic. Now we all can see, and those who are not here to see it, it's a beautiful graphic. Wow, I can see that clearly now. That is nice.
And they just showed Patrick Ewing smiling on the sideline.
Pat.
He's not having flashbacks to Michael and Scotty Duncan all over him.
They finally invited Pat back to the Garden, baby. Way to go, baby. Way to bring the captain back.
They're all front runners. They're all loving it now. We've been with you all the way.
Yeah, we were always with you.
As long as
Stephen
you're
A.
winning.
Smith and all these people. You got Carmelo Anthony. How long did he wear a Knicks uniform?
John Starks
like 2 weeks.
in the front row.
John Starks. I saw Larry Johnson out there. They're making rap music about the Knicks now. Oh my God. Okay, Bulls Nation. We got to stop this shit. Seriously, we got to get our team together. We got to restore order. This is out of hand. The Knicks are now being the most talked about team in the NBA. We got to change that.
The Garden is rocking, though. The fans are all standing in the final minute.
What a
their
move.
team about to advance.
What do you call that?
It's called a fall on your ass and pray it goes in. Yeah, it's over.
Everything's good with the Knicks except for Tom Thibodeau's hairline. Man.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
He just shaved that shit
off.
It's gone,
man. Just let it go, man. Him and Derek White. Remember Derek White? Derek White for the
he finally painted his on.
Derek White's hairline was so far back. I'm like, man, and he got a little afro. And I'm like, man, cut that off, dude. Cut off. And he finally went bald. And he looks up. Look at Tibbs. Tibbs like Gene Katie. He got the Gene Katie. When he go to the barbershop, he says, yeah, just give me the Gene Katie.
Just rearrange it.
Just give me a Gene Katie.
Just move it around.
The comb over.
You ever hear like a James Brown, on the NFL Sundays? He's using like painting tape.
James Brown's hair is horrible.
What is it?
Horrible.
It's like that popcorn stuff you spray on your ceiling back in the 70s. But
this is
Carlos Boozer. Black. They spray his head. There's like a little chunk.
Remember when Carlos Boozer spray paint in there? Yeah, that's what he got. He got the spray paint in there. Listen, man, sometimes you just got to let it go. You know what I'm saying? No sense of holding on to something that's not there.
The Whispers, I'm surprised you didn't bring up Trae Young's hair since we're talking about
I'm not bringing that up ever again.
They got people out looking for you.
Yeah. Trae Young made a comment. He has his own podcast. He made a comment. He's like, yeah, I got in this podcast business. I want to change the narrative. I want to change the narrative of my hair. Because there was a guy, Whispers on Stacey Keys giving hot sauce. He's an asshole.
Well, did you hear that? How he ends every episode?
No.
Fuck you, Whispers.
I think that's the way we end our show.
Yeah, I think we ended there. Exactly. We're back. We're back, America.
No, we'll clean that up in editing. Stacey, you want to tell the folks how they get?
Bill Bradley.
Oh yeah.
They brought him out. They got him out of ice.
Tell the folks how they can take care of their transportation needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, dun 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 dun. There's breaking news from the Windy City limousine. My driver, Mike Almerath, is back.
Oh, he's back, baby.
He's back.
Doublemint twins?
He got rid of them. They were too heavy. But he's back. He got a new truck. A truck is nice. Ooh, nice. Are you looking to shut up, Tim?
Hold on. He was so happy he came in to see us.
Yeah, but he came in. He was like, he was so excited because he'd never been in here before.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he was like, oh, man, where's Whispers? That's the first thing he asked for. He asked for Whispers.
So
he's back.
Say, fuck you, Whispers.
It was so good to see him. It was so good to see him, Mark. I saw him yesterday. He picked me up at the airport, the International. I'm going to tell you right now, America, listen before I read this little, because Windy City couldn't help you on this one. When you go to International, get global entry. I'm just telling you right now. If you don't do nothing else,
it's worth it.
Get you global. Pay whatever it costs. It's worth it. Mine was expired yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to wait in the line damn near 2 hours and going through, like you went to like a new ride at Great America and you got to go through that long line. Right. Oh my God. And I'm going to tell you something. I love the kids. I love the little children. Little babies are cute. Them little bastards yesterday in that line, they were, because you can't keep them still. They're pulling down the ropes. The ropes are keeping everybody in. And then the people are telling you don't touch the rope because they got to come over and make sure that everything is like normal. I was like, they need to have a separate line for children and parents, like away from all that. Because I'm telling you, man, it was 2 hours in that damn line. It was hot as hell. They didn't have no air. I think they was doing that on purpose. It was hot as hell. People were sweating. We like slaves coming over on the boat, bro. Jeez. It was terrible. It was terrible. America is Coonskin roots, baby. That's what it felt like for me yesterday. I was Toby, baby. I was
upset about my 5 minutes.
This guy here, he comes in, he had to wait. He went through global entry, had to wait 5 minutes. He was upset that his bags wasn't there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Took me like 5 minutes to get out of there.
Yeah. I was in the line almost 2 hours. And then when I finally got through the line, I had to wait. My bags were like on the floor. All our people's bags were on the floor. And then there was like 4 other flights coming in. And they were just bothering. I'm looking for my bag. They said, are you Puerto Vallarta? I said, yeah. Oh, yours is over in the corner. I said, in the corner? What are they doing in the corner for? Right down the turnstile. Well, you guys were taking too long. So, it's 97.
Oh, we retired him too early. Hey, watch your language, Steve.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. We don't. There's children behind the glass
come on
curtain.
now.
What happened here? This might be a foul.
Well, you got money on the game, D?
Oh wow.
No.
He hit that deep too.
Wow,
Oh,
Tyrese
that
Maxey.
too.
It's a 35-footer to send the game to overtime.
They were down like 6.
So Joel Embiid says, not yet, my friend.
Not yet,
so
my friend. No
fast.
fast. No suit for you. All right, Mark, let's kind of get off this rail. I'm tired.
You didn't
That's
give the
been
phone
long.
number, though. Give the phone
Oh,
number
sorry.
Windy
I
City
forgot. Windy City. My bad. Are you looking to score the hottest sauce in the game? No, that's
Wait a
sauce.
minute.
I've been away too long, America. When it comes to being treated, oh, shit, there's another wrong one. Oh, Windy City. Windy City Limousine provides championship service. Making a reservation is so easy, it's a slam dunk. Let Windy City break the full court pressure of traffic and get you to your destination in style and on time. Contact Wendy at 847-916-9300. That's 847-916-9300 or WindyCityLimos.com. And when you go there, they got Sprinter vans, they got SUVs, they got sedans, whatever you need. They'll get you to your destination on time and in style, and you'll be looking for me. Just ask for Mike Amaroff.
There you go.
Or my little guy, Caesar, who's about 4'2". He sits on phone books. Caesar, if you're out there listening to me, don't worry about it. You only need 2 phone books when you drive with me, buddy. Another shot. Caesar's catching strays today.
Want to thank our great crew, D and Cisco. Cisco, we didn't mean to crush you like that. With
Yeah,
the
he's
crap.
recovered now.
That
He's
wasn't even your
recovered.
fault,
He's
got a chicken wing.
Yeah, he's
all
over
right.
eating a chicken wing
All right.
with little tight shorts. Just saw his ball and prints. Hey, let's get those shorts a little looser, buddy. I don't need to see that. I'm scarred for life right now. Yeah, let's get some bigger shorts on, buddy. You got John Stockton's on. This is terrible. Come on, man. There's nothing but dudes in here, man. Get out of them tight shorts. This ain't Hooters.
Hey, we're back, America.
We're back, America.
We're back, getting ready for a fun summer ahead. So until then, Stacey, time to get out of here.
Drive home safe in Chicago, BB.
Oh, my goodness. It's only preseason, but I'm hyped.